What is life but a blank canvas waiting to be painted with the lessons we learn along the way? Aren't the darkest moments the ones that teach us to appreciate the light with greater intensity? On the journey of our existence, we have all experienced moments of deep pain and sadness. That is why, in this video, we have set out to compile a series of meticulously chosen lessons and quotes that will help you find joy in life. Whether you are going through personal crises, facing losses, or simply need a boost in your life, these lessons are here to provide you with support, motivation, and hope. Now, if you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, let's start this transformative journey together. 1. The power of gratitude. We start with the power of gratitude. On this personal journey toward a fuller and more satisfying life, I discovered the transformative power of gratitude. It wasn't an easy path, but each step brought me closer to understanding how a simple change in perspective can open the doors to a world of possibilities and happiness. Who would have thought that something as simple as taking a moment to reflect on daily blessings could have such a profound impact? Recognizing those small but significant things that often go unnoticed, from the warmth of the sun on my face to the aroma of morning coffee, led me to more fully appreciate the positive experiences life offered. And what about finding gratitude in difficult times? In the midst of adversity, it's easy to be dragged down by negativity and discouragement. However, by adopting an attitude of gratitude, even in the most challenging situations, I discovered an inner strength I didn't know I had. Instead of lamenting what I lacked, I learned to value what I had and find lessons even in the darkest moments. But the real magic began when I started practicing daily gratitude. By setting aside time each day to reflect on the things I'm grateful for, I cultivated a mindset of abundance that permeated all aspects of my life. Instead of focusing on what I lacked, I found myself celebrating what I had, and that celebration brought a renewed sense of joy and satisfaction. We can't overlook the power of expressing gratitude to others. When I began to acknowledge and openly thank the people who made a difference in my life, both big and small, I discovered how the simple act of saying thank you could strengthen relationships, foster human connection, and bring joy to both me and others. I remember a particular time when I expressed my gratitude to an old friend for his unwavering support during a difficult time in my life. His face lit up with a sincere smile, and in that moment, I knew my expression of gratitude had touched his heart in a way that words couldn't fully express. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." And so gratitude became my daily guide, constantly reminding me that life, with all its ups and downs, is a precious gift to be appreciated and celebrated at every moment. 2. Love yourself. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned in life is the immense value of loving yourself. It's like having wings that allow me to soar above emotional storms and life's challenges. But how do you cultivate such essential qualities? Let me take you down the path I traveled. It all starts with recognizing and validating my emotions. I no longer hide behind a mask of apparent strength. If I'm sad, I accept it. If I'm angry, I acknowledge it. There are no wrong emotions. All are valid and deserve to be felt. Once I allowed myself to fully experience my emotions, self-forgiveness became a natural step. Forgiving myself for my mistakes was a liberating process. I made mistakes, so what? I'm not perfect and I don't pretend to be. We all make mistakes. It's part of being human. I realized that clinging to guilt only perpetuates my suffering. So why not forgive myself and free myself from that burden? In doing so, I discovered that forgiveness is not a gift I give to others, but a gift I give to myself. Self-compassion goes beyond forgiveness. It's about cultivating a deep understanding of myself, recognizing my own struggles and challenges with kindness and empathy. Instead of judging myself for my weaknesses, I choose to be compassionate with myself. I treat myself with the same kindness and consideration I would show a dear friend going through a tough time. This is how I practice self-compassion in my daily life. When I face an obstacle, instead of criticizing myself for not being good enough, I remind myself that I'm doing my best under the given circumstances. When I fail, instead of punishing myself, I comfort myself and encourage myself to keep going. This compassionate approach to myself has transformed how I experience life. Imperfection and personal growth have become my motto. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't be harmed, and you won't be harmed. Let everything flow over you like water flows." Life is a journey of constant growth, and each obstacle is an opportunity to learn and evolve. Instead of resisting my imperfections, I embrace them as part of my being. Loving yourself is like the sun illuminating the path on dark days. Recognizing and validating my emotions, forgiving myself, cultivating understanding towards myself, practicing self-compassion in daily life, and embracing imperfection are the pillars upon which I build my emotional strength and well-being. On this journey of self-discovery, I find myself more complete and at peace each day. 3. The importance of small pleasures. The small pleasures of life. There's nothing like savoring them, right? Let me tell you how I've learned to appreciate each of these moments, because believe me, once you incorporate them into your life, you'll never look back. It all starts with those moments of tranquility, those precious instants when you allow yourself to simply be. For me, these moments often come in the mornings, when the world is still asleep, and I can only hear the soft murmur of life beginning. Sitting on my balcony with a cup of hot coffee in my hands, I let the tranquility of the morning fill my being. It's in these moments that the mind clears and worries fade away, leaving space to simply exist. But life isn't just about being alone, right? It's also about appreciating meaningful human connections. I remember once meeting an old friend in a cafe. We had lost touch for years, but in that brief encounter, we dove into a deep conversation that spanned from our wildest dreams to our deepest worries. It was a reminder that human relationships are like treasure, and we must nurture them whenever we can. And then there's the favorite meals. Oh, I could talk about this for hours. There's nothing like the first bite of your favorite meal to make you feel truly alive. Whether it's an elaborate Italian pasta dish or a simple homemade pizza, each bite is an explosion of happiness in my mouth. I remember once cooking my favorite dish for my loved ones, and seeing their faces of satisfaction and joy was as gratifying as the taste of the food itself. But it's not all about what's on our plate. It's also about finding beauty in the surrounding nature, going for a walk in a nearby park, or simply sitting on a bench by a lake can do wonders for the soul. I remember once getting lost in a nearby forest and stumbling into a sunlit clearing. The leaves crunched under my feet as I stepped into that oasis of tranquility, and in that moment, I knew beauty was everywhere. We just had to take the time to see it. Allowing yourself to enjoy simple and relaxing activities is key to a full life. Whether it's reading a good book, listening to soft music, or simply stargazing on a clear night, these small indulgences can nourish our soul in a way nothing else can. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: Some things are within our control and others are not. Learning to enjoy the small pleasures of life is definitely within our control, and it's a choice I make every day. The strength of resilience. Who hasn't felt the blow of failure or the pain of rejection? But you know what? Learning from those experiences is what makes us grow, what turns us into stronger human beings capable of facing any challenge life throws our way. I clearly remember a project where I had placed all my hopes, invested time, effort, and yes, even a piece of my heart. But what happened? I failed. The outcome wasn't what I expected, and the rejection was like a punch in the gut. However, instead of letting myself be consumed by despair, I decided to learn from it. I analyzed every step, every mistake, and understood that failures are nothing but opportunities disguised as lessons. A growth mindset is key on this path of resilience. Instead of wallowing in self-pity, I told myself, "It's okay. This didn't go as planned, but what can I learn from it? How can I improve?" Adopting this mindset allowed me to see every obstacle as an opportunity to grow and improve. But resilience goes beyond simply learning from failures. It's also about finding creative solutions to problems. I remember a situation where I faced an apparently insurmountable dilemma at work. Everyone seemed to be going in circles without finding a way out. That's when I decided to think outside the box, seek new perspectives, and explore solutions no one else had considered. And you know what? It worked. I discovered an ingenious solution that got us out of the rut and allowed us to move forward. Even the strongest individuals need support in difficult times. There's no shame in asking for help, in seeking the comfort and encouragement of those around us. I remember how in one of the lowest moments of my life, I found refuge in the unconditional love and support of my friends and family. Their presence gave me the strength I needed to keep going, not to give up in the face of adversity. With determination and strength, I rose again and again from the adversities life presented me. As Seneca once said, "Storms make trees have deeper roots." Resilience isn't about avoiding blows, but about rising each time we fall with our heads held high and hearts full of determination. Because at the end of the day, it's our scars that remind us we're capable of overcoming anything that stands in our way to success and happiness. 5. Transform difficulties into opportunities. Do you want to discover how to turn difficulties into opportunities? Let me share with you a personal experience full of valuable lessons I learned in tough times. When adversity hits you, don't give up. Instead, seek that inner strength that will push you to overcome any obstacle. I remember a period in my life when I faced an apparently insurmountable situation. I was at a professional crossroads, with my career stalled and no way out in sight. Instead of letting myself be overwhelmed by uncertainty, I decided to use that moment as a springboard to success. I plunged into reflection, exploring my skills, passions, and goals. Through this process, I discovered new opportunities I had previously overlooked. Change became my ally instead of being seen as a threat. Embracing the idea that change can be an opportunity for growth was crucial in my personal and professional transformation. Instead of resisting change, I began to adapt and evolve with it. This mindset allowed me to develop a resilience I had never experienced before. I remember a quote from Epictetus that resonated deeply with me at that moment. "Adversity is the whetstone of virtue." This quote became my mantra during my toughest moments. Instead of allowing circumstances to bring me down, I strove to maintain a positive and proactive attitude. Every obstacle I faced became an opportunity to learn and grow. I learned to see setbacks as challenges that pushed me to surpass my limits and reach new heights. Instead of giving up in the face of adversity, I tackled it with determination and perseverance. Now, looking back, I can see how each difficulty I faced brought me a step closer to where I am today. If I hadn't faced those tough moments with courage and determination, I would never have discovered my true potential. So, the next time you find yourself in the midst of a storm, remember that within you resides an unbreakable strength that can turn any difficulty into a golden opportunity. Learn from your experiences, seek strength within yourself, use obstacles as springboards to success, develop resilience in the face of uncertainty, and embrace change as an opportunity to grow. 6. Cultivate meaningful relationships. On this journey called life, learning to cultivate meaningful relationships is an invaluable skill. It's not just about accumulating contacts, but nurturing authentic connections that strengthen and enrich us every step of the way. It's like planting seeds in a garden. It requires attention, care, and patience, but the flowers that bloom are the reward of well-invested effort. Fostering open and honest communication is the first pillar of these relationships. There's nothing more liberating than being able to express your thoughts, feelings, and concerns without fear of judgment or criticism. I remember once, in the midst of a sea of doubts, deciding to open my heart to a close friend. The simple act of sharing my worries allowed me to release a burden I had been carrying silently and strengthened our connection in a way I never imagined. Prioritizing quality time with your loved ones is essential in this frenetic modern world. In a world where time is a precious resource, dedicating authentic and meaningful moments to those we love becomes more valuable than anything else. It's not just about being physically present, but being fully present. I remember a rainy afternoon when I decided to turn off all my electronic devices and simply spend quality time with my family. We played board games, shared laughter, and deep conversations that reinforced our bonds in an unbreakable way. Supporting each other in difficult times is a testament to the true strength of a relationship. We all face challenges in life, and having someone to lean on makes the burden lighter. I remember going through a tough situation at work and feeling like the world was falling apart around me. It was my lifelong friend who stood by my side, providing words of encouragement and unconditional support that helped me overcome even the darkest moments. Celebrating successes and achievements together is like fueling the fire of motivation and self-love. When we reach important goals in life, sharing the joy with those we care about multiplies the happiness. I remember the day I finally got that long-awaited promotion at work. Instead of celebrating alone, I organized an intimate dinner with my closest friends and family to share the excitement and pride I felt at that moment. Cultivating new friendships and connections in your community is like opening windows to new perspectives and experiences. The world is full of fascinating people waiting to be discovered, and each new friendship is an opportunity to grow and learn. I remember when I decided to join a volunteer group in my neighborhood. I met people with different backgrounds and life experiences, and each interaction enriched me in a unique way. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "True happiness lies in doing good, and there's no greater good than cultivating meaningful relationships that nourish our soul and enrich our journey through life." So what are you waiting for? Go out there, cultivate authentic connections, and watch how the fruits of your effort flourish in ways you never imagined. 7. The power of purpose. The power of purpose. It's like having a bright beacon guiding every step I take in this tumultuous life. Reflecting on my values and passions becomes a journey of self-discovery, where each finding adds a new dimension to my existence. My values act as the pillars that support my identity, shaping my decisions and actions at every corner of life. What really matters to me? What principles do I consider unbreakable? Questions that, once answered, outline my moral compass. For example, I've always valued honesty, not just as a virtue, but as a way of life. My actions reflect that value, from being transparent in my relationships to maintaining integrity in my work. Now, my passions are like inner fires that propel me forward. They are the sparks of enthusiasm that ignite my soul and make each day worthwhile. Whether it's writing, music, or helping others, these passions are the colors with which I paint my life. For example, discovering my passion for teaching led me to volunteer time in a tutoring program for disadvantaged children. Seeing the spark in their eyes when they grasp a new concept is a reward that surpasses any material wealth. But what is a beacon without a clear destination? Setting goals aligned with my purpose is like charting a star map to my personal fulfillment. My goals are like stations on my journey, marking milestones that bring me closer to my final destination. What do I want to achieve? How can I contribute to the world around me? These questions shape my objectives, from reaching a milestone in my career to dedicating time to charitable work that positively impacts my community. However, the real challenge lies in finding meaning in daily activities. Every action, no matter how small, has the potential to nourish my purpose or divert me from it. How can I make every moment count? This question drives me to be mindful of my daily choices, from how I spend my free time to how I interact with others. For example, taking a few extra minutes to listen to a friend in need may seem insignificant, but for me, it's an opportunity to create meaningful connections. Volunteering and contributing to the community are the bricks with which I build a lasting legacy. It's not just about what I can gain, but about what I can give. Being part of something bigger than myself is a humbling and rewarding experience. For example, collaborating with a local food bank not only allows me to help those in need, but also connects me with a network of people committed to the same cause. And so, like a tree that grows and branches out over time, my purpose also evolves. Adapting as I grow and change is essential to staying in tune with my true self. What aspects of my purpose have matured over time? In what areas do I need to adjust my focus? These questions keep me in constant exploration and self-evaluation, reminding me that purpose is a never-ending journey, full of twists and unexpected turns. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, true greatness lies in harmony with your purpose. Finding purpose is embracing the constant flow of life, welcoming both moments of triumph and challenges. It's an invitation to live with intention and meaning, charting my own path in this vast universe. May the power of purpose always illuminate my way. 8. Live in the present. Living in the present is a lesson I learned in the most vivid way possible. A few years ago, I found myself trapped in the routine, worried about the future and lamenting the past. Then I decided to change my focus and fully immerse myself in the present moment. Reflecting on my values and passions, I discovered that what truly drove me was creativity and service to others. Instead of worrying about what others thought I should do, I focused on what resonated with my heart. I immersed myself in activities that inspired me, from writing to painting, finding a deep connection with my inner self. Setting goals aligned with my purpose was a game-changer. Instead of simply pursuing external achievements like material success or social recognition, I began to set goals that brought me closer to my personal vision of a meaningful life. For example, instead of simply aiming for a promotion at work, I set out to learn new skills that would allow me to positively impact my community. Finding meaning in my daily activities became an exciting challenge. I discovered that even seemingly mundane tasks could be opportunities to grow and contribute. From a simple conversation with a colleague to the task of grocery shopping, I looked for ways to infuse each moment with purpose and gratitude. Volunteering and contributing to the community became an integral part of my life. By giving my time and energy to causes that truly mattered to me, I experienced deep satisfaction and connection with others. From working at an animal shelter to teaching skills to at-risk youth, each action reminded me that we can all make a difference, no matter how small our contribution. Adapting my purpose as I grew and evolved was a liberating process. Instead of clinging to a fixed idea of who I should be or what I should do, I learned to embrace change and evolution. My passions and priorities changed over time, and that's okay. The important thing was to stay true to myself and keep seeking ways to grow and contribute, no matter the circumstances. As Seneca once said, "Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters." This quote resonates deeply with me, reminding me of the importance of living in the present moment and embracing everything life has to offer. Ultimately, by living in the present, reflecting on my values, setting goals aligned with my purpose, finding meaning in my daily activities, contributing to the community, and adapting my purpose as I grow and evolve, I have found deep satisfaction and a sense of fulfillment in my life. Discover your passion. Waking up each day with a burning passion is like having a treasure in your hands. And you know what? Discovering that inner flame that drives you, fills you with energy and enthusiasm, is entirely possible. How? Well, let me tell you my story. It all started when I decided to venture into the vast ocean of hobbies and creative activities. I tried painting, and oh, what an exciting journey it was. Dipping the brush into colors and watching the canvas come to life was like entering a magical world where anything was possible. Each stroke was an expression of my being, a way to communicate what my heart felt. And what about the satisfaction of contemplating the finished work? But I didn't stop there. I immersed myself in the world of cooking, where every recipe was a challenge and every dish a potential masterpiece. From preparing a simple breakfast to crafting an exquisite feast, every moment in the kitchen was an opportunity to learn, experiment, and, of course, enjoy the final result. And you know what's the best part? Incorporating play and fun into my daily life. Yes, because life isn't just about responsibility and tasks. There's also room for fun. From organizing game nights with friends to enjoying a day at the park like a child again. Finding that balance between the serious and the playful did wonders for my emotional well-being. But the most exciting part was constantly challenging myself. Learning new skills, facing my fears, and stepping out of my comfort zone became my mantra. From learning to play a musical instrument to skydiving, yes, I did it. Each challenge overcome reminded me of how incredibly powerful I can be when I set my mind to it. And of course, I can't forget the importance of connecting with others who share my interests. Finding a supportive community and fellow travelers on this path to passion was like discovering an oasis in the desert. Sharing experiences, tips, and laughs with those who understand my enthusiasm was an endless source of inspiration. Finally, but not least, cultivating a sense of achievement and satisfaction through my hobbies became my main driving force. Every goal achieved, no matter how small, was reason for celebration. As an old Chinese proverb says, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." And I choose to move forward with passion and determination on this journey to personal fulfillment through my passions. Discovering my passion was like turning on a light in the darkness. It was the fuel I needed to push forward, to live each day with purpose and joy. And you, dear friend, are you ready to embark on your own adventure to passion? You have now reached the halfway mark of the video. I congratulate you for trying to become a better version of yourself. And I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write mind over body so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. 10. Personal self-care. In the whirlwind of everyday life, we often forget that taking care of ourselves is the first step towards a full life. It's time to embrace self-care practices with determination and dedication. To start, let's prioritize your physical and mental well-being through healthy routines. How many times have you felt overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, or physical exhaustion? Don't underestimate the power of small changes in your day-to-day life, from getting up early to enjoy a nutritious breakfast, to setting aside a few minutes for meditation before starting your activities. Every action counts. Every choice is a seed planted in the garden of your well-being. Regular exercise is a fundamental pillar in this quest for balance. Let me share my personal experience, dedicating sacred time to move my body, whether with a revitalizing morning run or an evening yoga class, not only strengthens my body, but also clears my mind and revitalizes my spirit. Find an activity that you're passionate about and make it a commitment to yourself. Proper sleep and rest are as essential as the air we breathe. Have you ever experienced the devastating effects of a sleepless night? Remember that sleep is the fuel that nourishes our body and mind. Establish a consistent sleep routine, create a sleep sanctuary in your bedroom, and disconnect from screens at least an hour before bed. Your body will thank you with renewed energy and mental clarity. Nutrition is another fundamental pillar for nourishing your body from the inside out. Cultivate a healthy relationship with food. Fill your plate with a variety of fresh, colorful foods and avoid excess processed foods and refined sugars. Did you know that a balanced diet not only nourishes your body, but also influences your mood and mental clarity? Now let's talk about emotional care. In a world that constantly pushes us to go beyond our limits, setting healthy boundaries is an act of self-love. Learn to say no when necessary, delegate responsibilities, and learn to put your emotional well-being first. Practice self-compassion. Give yourself permission to feel and process your emotions without judgment. Remember Seneca's words. Happiness depends on yourself. Incorporate relaxing activities like yoga or meditation into your daily routine. These ancient practices not only calm the mind's frenzy, but also connect you with your inner self, providing a haven of peace in the midst of the modern world's chaos. Self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity. Prioritize your physical well-being, cultivate healthy habits, and set boundaries that protect your inner peace. Remember that by taking care of yourself, you become a fuller and more resilient version of yourself, capable of facing life's challenges with grace and strength. So go ahead, start this journey to self-care with determination and self-love. Your future self will thank you. 11. The importance of your dreams and goals. On the vast canvas of life, each of us longs to leave a mark, to blaze bright trails and paint landscapes of personal fulfillment. And what better way to achieve this than through the powerful alchemy of dreams and goals? Let me share with you my experience on this journey of self-discovery and achievement. It all begins with the spark of vision. Imagine an unlimited horizon where your dreams dance with possibility and your aspirations soar towards the stars. Identifying those dreams, those glimmers of desire that beat deep within you, is the first step towards manifesting your destiny. For me, that dream was to write a novel, to immerse myself in fictional worlds and leave my mark on the pages of time. But dreams, no matter how radiant, need a beacon to guide them towards reality. This is where goals come into play. Smart goals become the compasses of our journey, marking the path with clarity and precision. I remember breaking down my dream into specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. Instead of simply saying, "I want to write a novel," I set concrete objectives like writing 1,000 words a day for 3 months. But having goals isn't enough. We need a map to guide us through the unknown territory of achievement. This is where the action plan comes into play. Just as an architect draws the plans of a building before it rises, I mapped my route to my literary dream. I set a daily writing schedule, researched the publishing process, and surrounded myself with resources that nurtured my creativity. However, on this journey full of ups and downs, motivation often wavers like a flame in the wind. This is where celebrating small achievements becomes the fuel that powers our journey. Each chapter written, each compliment received, became a milestone that propelled me forward. I remembered the words of the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, "The obstacle is the way," and chose to react with gratitude and celebration at each advance. Finally, reaching the top of a mountain only to discover the horizon has changed is part of the charm of this journey. Life is dynamic, and so must we be. That's why, while celebrating my successes, I also recognize the importance of adapting and reassessing my goals. The true importance of your dreams and goals lies in their ability to infuse direction and purpose into your life. From identifying your dreams to celebrating your successes, each step on this journey brings you a little closer to personal fulfillment. So, what's your dream? What will be your first step towards realization? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. 12. Overcome perfectionism. Perfectionism, that subtle trap that haunts us, making us believe that only extreme excellence deserves our recognition. But at what price? Haven't we all felt its iron grip around our throats, limiting our creativity and stifling our happiness? I acknowledge the havoc it wreaks on my well-being. It follows me in every project, every task, every endeavor, but I've decided to confront it. Practicing self-forgiveness and compassion towards myself has been my lifeline in this journey. How many times have I stumbled, made mistakes, failed to reach my relentless standards? But each time I allow myself to forgive, I free myself a bit more from the chains of perfectionism. I acknowledge my humanity, my limitations, and grant myself the opportunity to learn and grow. I learn day by day to value the process and effort over the results. Before, I obsessed over the final destination, the finished product that had to be flawless. But now I immerse myself in the journey, enjoy each step of the way, each small advance, each obstacle overcome, because I understand that the true wealth lies there, in the process itself, in the dedicated effort, in the passion deployed. Embracing imperfection as a natural part of growth has been a revelation for me. Before, I feared each error, each imperfection, as if they were signs of my incompetence. But now I celebrate them, embrace them with gratitude, because I know they are the stones on the path that polish my being, that shape my character, that make me stronger and wiser. As Seneca said, difficulty sharpens the intellect, challenge strengthens the spirit. And what a pleasure it is to celebrate my achievements, even when they don't meet my highest standards. Before, I discarded any success that didn't measure up to the perfection I pursued. But now I recognize the value in each small victory, in each step forward, no matter how modest. I rejoice in my achievements, honor them, celebrate them as milestones in my journey towards excellence, knowing that each one brings me a little closer to my best version. Overcoming perfectionism has been a transformative process, a liberation from the chains that imprisoned me. By practicing self-forgiveness, valuing the process, embracing imperfection, and celebrating my achievements, I have found a new way of living, a full, authentic life filled with gratitude. 13. The magic of creativity. Have you stopped to contemplate the power that lies in your hands? I invite you to explore a world where each brushstroke, each word, and each musical note are threads weaving a unique tapestry, a reflection of your inner self. Unlocking my creative potential was like opening a door to a universe of infinite possibilities. One day I decided to challenge my own limits and plunged into experimenting with different forms of expression. Art became my travel companion, writing my confidant, and music my refuge. Imagine this: a quiet afternoon, the sun painting the sky's canvas in warm tones. I found myself in front of a blank canvas, my heart beating to the rhythm of my emotions. Without a defined plan, I let my hands glide over the canvas, guided by the moment's inspiration. Each stroke was a conversation between my mind and my heart, each color an emotion that sprang from the depths of my being. And you know what? It's not always about creating a masterpiece worthy of being exhibited in a museum. Sometimes, the true magic lies in the spontaneity of a moment, in the freedom to let our emotions flow without restrictions or expectations. Creativity became my most faithful ally, my tool for processing the emotions and experiences life offered me. When sadness threatened to flood my soul, I sought refuge in the pages of my diary, letting the words act as balm for my wounded heart. And when joy overflowed my being, I found in music the perfect channel to celebrate life at its fullest. Connecting with my inner child was key in this journey. I remembered the innocence and overflowing imagination that characterized childhood and decided to embrace them once again. Who said adults can't play, dream, and create with the same intensity as children? Recovering that spark of curiosity and wonder allowed me to explore new creative horizons, free of prejudices and self-imposed limitations. But the true magic of creativity lies in sharing, in opening our hearts and showing the world the unique beauty that springs from our being. It's not just about exhibiting our creations, but inspiring others to explore their own creative potential. In a world where diversity is the true wealth, celebrating the multiplicity of artistic expressions is an act of love towards ourselves and others. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Only the actions of the just are beautiful because only they are free." And the just are those who act with benevolence towards their fellow humans. In each creative act, in each work we share, we are sowing seeds of goodness and beauty in the world. So, do you dare to unlock your creative potential, to explore the infinite possibilities that lie within you? Remember, the magic is in you. You just need to open your eyes and let your heart guide you on this wonderful journey towards fullness and joy. 14. Show gratitude for the lessons life offers you. Life, that relentless teacher, offers us lessons at every step. And although sometimes its teachings come wrapped in pain or difficulty, I choose to receive them with gratitude. Yes, even the most challenging experiences deserve my thanks, because they are precisely the ones that have taught me the most along my path. I clearly remember a time when I faced a great challenge in my professional life. Things didn't go as I expected. Obstacles seemed insurmountable, and frustration began to take a toll on my spirit. However, instead of letting myself be consumed by discouragement, I decided to change my perspective. I was grateful for the lessons this situation was offering me. Each failure, each setback, became a learning opportunity. I recognized that my personal growth was intrinsically linked to these challenges. In the midst of the storm, I found the strength to keep going, appreciated the lessons learned in difficult times, understanding that it was the stumbling blocks that paved my path to success. I cultivated an attitude of gratitude towards all life's experiences, even those that at the moment seemed unfair or painful. One of the most revealing moments came when I faced a great loss in my personal life. The pain threatened to consume me, but instead of letting myself be overwhelmed, I chose to use it as an opportunity for introspection and change. I delved into my own being, exploring the depths of my emotions and reflecting on the meaning of everything I was experiencing. I discovered a strength I didn't know I possessed, a resilience that emerged from the depths of my being. I remember a Stoic quote that resonated deeply with me in those difficult moments. "Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional." I understood that while I couldn't avoid pain, I had the power to choose how to respond to it, and that choice made all the difference. I found strength and resilience in moments of adversity, transforming pain into a source of growth and wisdom. So here I am, grateful for all the lessons life has offered me, from moments of joy to the darkest valleys of despair. Each experience has contributed to my evolution as a person. Today, I look back with gratitude, knowing that each challenge overcome has brought me one step closer to becoming the best version of myself. 15. The importance of sleep and rest. In the eternal dance of day and night, sleep and rest are the rhythms that allow us to find balance in the ebb and flow of existence. Each night, as we close our eyes, we plunge into an ocean of serenity where the mind is freed, the body is renewed, and the soul finds repose. But how can we ensure that this sacred nocturnal ritual reaches its fullness? Let me be your guide on this journey to optimal rest, where each step is a melody in the symphony of your well-being. The first thing is to create a sanctuary for sleep in your bedroom. Imagine a space where soft colors caress the walls, where cotton sheets embrace you gently, and where dim light creates an atmosphere of peace. Personalize your sanctuary with elements that inspire calm, whether it's a green plant that purifies the air or a photograph of a tranquil place that takes you to inner serenity. Now, once you've set the stage, it's time to establish a relaxing routine before bed. Disconnect from the digital world, set aside the day's worries, and immerse yourself in activities that gently lead you to sleep. How about a warm bath with magnesium salts to relax your muscles? Or perhaps you prefer a guided meditation session to prepare your mind and pave the way for restorative sleep. But remember, it's not just about going to bed. It's about prioritizing the quality of sleep and the necessary hours. How many times have you sacrificed precious hours of sleep for productivity or entertainment? It's time to change that mindset. Your physical, mental, and emotional health largely depends on adequate sleep. So why not invest in your nightly well-being as you would in any other area of your life? And while you immerse yourself in Morpheus's arms, practice relaxation techniques to calm the mind before sleeping. Breathe deeply. Focus on your body's sensations and let any worries fade away in the night's darkness. Experiment with different methods, whether visualizing a peaceful place or repeating mantras that comfort you. But what if, despite all your efforts, you still struggle with insomnia or sleep problems? It's important to recognize and address these underlying challenges to improve your rest. From sleep disorders like apnea to chronic stress that keeps you awake in the dark of night, seeking professional help can make the difference between exhausting wakefulness and restorative sleep. In the words of the wise Seneca, there is no greater wealth than peaceful and restorative sleep. In the vast ocean of life, sleep and rest are the beacons that guide us to inner peace. So don't underestimate their transformative power. Cultivate a sleep sanctuary, embrace a relaxing routine, prioritize sleep quality, practice relaxation techniques, and, if necessary, seek help to overcome obstacles on your path to optimal rest. Your body, mind, and spirit will thank you. 16. Let go of what you can't control. There is an ancient Stoic proverb that says, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one thing. Some things are under our control, and others are not." This ancient wisdom remains as relevant today as it was in ancient times. Why? Because in the chaos of modern life, we often find ourselves battling unstoppable currents, trying to control every aspect of our lives, only to feel exhausted and frustrated when things don't go as planned. Identifying situations you can't control is the first step toward true emotional freedom. What keeps you up at night, worried and anxious? Is it the traffic you face every morning on your way to work? Is it your boss's attitude that seems to fluctuate for no apparent reason? Identifying these situations is crucial because once you recognize you can't control them, you can free yourself from the burden of trying to change them. Practicing acceptance and surrender is key. I speak from personal experience. I used to spend hours arguing with my boss in my mind, replaying each interaction, trying to find a way to convince him my point of view was right. But one day, I decided to stop fighting that current. I accepted I couldn't control his actions or opinions. Instead, I focused on how I could react constructively and in line with my values. Focusing on what you can control empowers you. Your thoughts and actions are yours to shape. You can choose how to respond to the challenges life presents. For example, instead of obsessively worrying about the weather for a planned weekend picnic, you can choose to be prepared for any eventuality by bringing an umbrella and a raincoat. Instead of stressing about traffic, you can decide to listen to an audiobook or enjoy your favorite music while driving. Cultivating serenity through mindfulness and meditation practices is like training a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you become. Spend a few minutes each day being present in the moment, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Over time, you'll learn to detach from them and find peace even in the midst of chaos. Freeing yourself from the weight of constant worries is liberating. Imagine the relief of letting go of that burden you've been carrying on your shoulders. By centering your energy on what you can control, you free yourself to focus on what truly matters: your values, your relationships, your personal growth. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead want them to happen as they do, and you will go well. Ultimately, letting go of what you can't control is an act of liberation. It's releasing the chains that bind you to worry and anxiety and opening yourself to the possibility of a fuller, more authentic life. 17. The value of honesty. In this life, I've learned that the value of honesty lies not only in telling the truth, but in being true to oneself and others. It's as if each act of honesty is a brick that builds the fortress of my character. Being honest with myself has been a challenge I've embraced with courage. Accepting my weaknesses and acknowledging my mistakes hasn't always been easy, but I've discovered that internal honesty is the foundation upon which I can build an authentic and meaningful life. I remember a time when I faced a difficult decision at work. I knew I had made a mistake, and although the temptation to cover it up was strong, I chose to face the situation with sincerity. Admitting my mistake not only earned me the respect of my colleagues, but also strengthened my own integrity. In my relationships with others, I've learned to value transparency as an act of mutual respect. Keeping secrets or manipulating the truth only undermines trust and weakens human bonds. I remember an occasion when a friend confided in me with a delicate personal problem. Instead of judging him or divulging his confidence, I chose to be transparent and supportive, which strengthened our friendship and showed him he could trust me in any situation. Part of being honest involves recognizing and accepting our imperfections. We all have areas where we fail or make mistakes, but it's our response to those imperfections that defines our character. Instead of hiding my flaws, I embrace them as part of my humanity. For example, I used to feel ashamed of my lack of skill in certain academic areas, but by accepting my limitations, I was able to focus on improving and growing. Valuing the truth over convenience is a lesson I've learned over time. Sometimes the truth can be uncomfortable or difficult to face, but it's fundamental for personal growth and building authentic relationships. I remember a situation where I had to confront a colleague about his unethical behavior. Although I knew the conversation would be difficult, I chose honesty over comfort, which resulted in a positive resolution and greater trust in our working relationship. Building relationships based on trust and authenticity is a goal I constantly pursue. I know the foundation of any meaningful connection is mutual honesty and respect for each individual's truths. By cultivating this in my interactions, I've created bonds that are solid as a rock, where trust flourishes and authenticity thrives. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, honesty is the first part of wisdom. By embracing the value of honesty in all its forms, I've found greater clarity in my life and a deeper connection with those around me. Being honest with myself and others is more than a virtue. It's the cornerstone of a well-lived life. 18. The importance of silence. In the constant hustle and bustle of modern life, finding moments of serenity can seem like a daunting task. However, I've discovered that amid the loudest noise lies an oasis of calm, waiting to be explored. It's in those brief moments of pause that I find the key to maintaining my mental and emotional balance. Silence and contemplation are powerful tools I use daily without fail. I dedicate myself to practicing meditation and reflection. It's not just about sitting in the lotus position and closing my eyes, but about immersing myself in an inner space where the external world's noise dissipates. In these moments of introspection, I let my thoughts flow freely, without judging or clinging to them. It's surprising how the mind finds its own rhythm when allowed to breathe in silence. By immersing myself in quiet, I learn to listen to the inner wisdom that lies deep within my being. It's like tuning into a cosmic radio station, where the answers to my most intricate questions resonate in the echo of silence. Here is where I find clarity amid chaos, where solutions to the most complex dilemmas seem to manifest naturally. Connecting with my deepest essence through silence is a transformative experience. It's like coming home after a long journey, finding comfort and familiarity in the stillness of my own being. In these moments, I discover who I am beyond the masks society has imposed on me, recognizing my true self in all its fullness and authenticity. Cultivating inner peace through quiet and contemplation is an art that requires constant practice. Just as a gardener carefully tends his garden, I cultivate my inner space with love and dedication. Each meditation session is like watering the seeds of peace, allowing them to bloom in a lush garden of serenity. In summary, embracing silence and contemplation amid daily frenzy is essential for maintaining inner harmony. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." By dedicating time to nurturing my mind and spirit with the stillness of silence, I discover a happiness that transcends life's vicissitudes. Throughout all these Stoic lessons, we find a clear path to enthusiasm and joy for life, even in times of adversity. By adopting a resilient mindset, we cultivate the ability to find peace, gratitude, and purpose in every moment. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." while the past is already written. The present and the future are in our hands. From now on, I commit to integrating these lessons into my daily life and living with greater wisdom and gratitude. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.